trying to decapitate his regime, targeting his communication centers, targeting his family's palaces, targeting his special Republican Guard, and causing his military leaders to reconsider their fight to the death. The ground war underway. Coalition troops crossing into Iraq, pounding the enemy with heavy artillery fire. The Iraqis firing back, launching missiles toward Kuwait, including Scuds Saddam said he did not have. The Pentagon promising to use unprecedented power to take out the Iraqi regime, while the world waits for shock and awe. A military campaign like the world has never seen. The news, as Fox reports right now.
Live from the world headquarters of Fox News in New York, this is the Fox Report with Shepard Smith. Fair news, balanced news, now.
Saddam Hussein is fighting back with at least one weapon that he claimed he does not have. The Iraqis launching missiles into Kuwait. The coalition says at least one was a Scud. A Scud Iraq is not supposed to possess. They're banned by the United Nations. A Patriot missile taking it out, according to Allied headquarters. But other Iraqi missiles landing in Kuwait, some near coalition troops. Air raid sirens going off many times inside Kuwait. Soldiers and civilians alike getting in and out of their gas masks over and over again. We have Team Fox coverage with America at War. William Lajeunesse live in Kuwait City. Let's begin there tonight. William?
Shepard, I'm sorry, we've had some audio problems, Shepard. This is a standard issue gas mask. This is issued in the United States. They come from Great Britain as well as Czechoslovakia. People take it very seriously here because Saddam Hussein has obviously used chemical weapons on his own people. There's no reason to believe he won't use it on his enemies. Now, 7 times today we had to don these gas masks. Journalists in the city of Kuwait as well as troops out in the field. Troops went to the bunkers, citizens went to their shelters and basements. Also, anyone who did not have one of these masks, they started praying and did the best they could in their own living rooms. There was panic in some cases, but definitely chaos. Very difficult for people to keep their cool. Now, Iraq responded today by throwing 4 missiles at Kuwait. We know that 3 were intercepted by missiles, by both Patriot missiles from the United States as well as Patriot missiles from the Kuwait government, Kuwait military. One did land, one was a Scud rather, one was an Al-Samud missile, and one also landed near Camp Commando in the desert. Now, there are also many mobile missile launchers out in the field that we know that U.S. fighters are attempting to target at this time. It is very easy to get complacent about using this gas mask, but because of the range of the Scud, which is 300 to 400 miles, this city will remain under alert probably for another day or 2. We do know that there are shorter range missiles that also can carry chemical gases. No injuries, no casualties. These were conventional warheads, no chemical or biological weapons on those warheads. But as we've seen today, that the system, the missile defense system here, integrated between the United States and Kuwait, seems to be working relatively well. Shepard?
William Lajeunesse live outside our newsroom in Kuwait City. The commander-in-chief meeting with his cabinet, constant planning and constant tweaking of plans, like the decision to scratch certain strategies and go after Saddam Hussein himself. A so-called decapitation attack to take out the Iraqi president and his sons as they slept. But soon after, a puffy-faced, glasses-wearing Saddam appearing on Iraqi TV, apparently unharmed by those strikes, but certainly rattled. If this was Saddam, was he really appearing live? Take a look at these pictures, supposed to be Saddam on Iraqi television today, clearly looking different than in his previous appearance, leading the Bush administration to raise some questions.
There are 2 issues in play. Is it Saddam Hussein or not? We've reached no conclusions. Was it pre-taped, pre-canned? We've reached no conclusions.
But the latest assessment from both the Israelis and the Americans is that it was, in fact, Saddam, but not the way we're used to seeing him. Our Team Fox coverage continues with America at War, live to the senior White House correspondent, Jim Angle. Jim?
That's right, Shep. Not at all the calm and confident Saddam Hussein Iraqis are accustomed to seeing. Now, the military shock and awe campaign, the use of frightening and overwhelming force may not have begun yet, but the president did unleash the psychological version of shock and awe with that attack aimed directly at Saddam Hussein himself. Now, American officials watching Saddam Hussein flip through that notebook, reading a handwritten speech, say they saw a man who was clearly rattled. The CIA is now doing a voice analysis on the speech, but officials say they have no reason to believe the man they saw is not Hussein. But there are questions about when the videotape was made, as you said. Another source said intelligence reports suggested Hussein had videotaped some addresses in advance, just in case he was forced to go on the run. Now, as he met with his cabinet today, President Bush said nothing about the war or the fate of Saddam Hussein, confining his remarks instead to appreciation for those he's sending into battle.
There's no question we've set the finest of our citizens into harm's way. They perform with great skill and great bravery.